Very soon, Philip is going to be sitting with his guest to talk about an HR conference that will be coming on very soon. But let us check out this video. And when the video is done, we're going to go straight into the conversation as Philip sits with his guest.
My name is Florence Hatchful, President of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana. I'd like to invite you all to our upcoming conference, scheduled to be held at the Alisa Hotel in Accra on 18th and 19th June 2025. Under the theme, Regulating Human Resource Management in Ghana, Standards, Ethics, and Sustainability. This is a conference which every HR professional with his or her salt must attend. HR practitioners are supposed to set and maintain ethical standards in the organizations. And to do this, HR practitioners themselves must know how to go about this. The conference will offer insights and strategies as to how organizations can adopt ethical standards. We encourage you to come in your numbers for an exciting and insightful conference.
And of course, we'll be having a conversation on this all-important event. The Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management present the HR 2025 conference and the Regulating HRM in Ghana. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Fine, thank you.
Nice grace.
Okay, so Florence, Madam Florence, I've met you before.
Have you?
Yes.
Where?
I think this was World Vision.
Yes. Yes.
Was it a Fiesta Royal?
Yes, I was there.
Yes, we met there.
Right.
And we have in studio Dr. Francis Eduku. Yes.
Correct.
Yes. Good. Thank you so much for coming. We have a conversation on this important event. First of all, I would want to ask you, Madam Florence, if they say someone is an HR, what does it mean? Because you go to an institution, and we know that the HR is the person just either receiving the application letters or sieving through the CVs and all that. But what does it really mean to be an HR person?
Okay. So thank you very much for that important question. The HR manager or HR officer in an organization is responsible for ensuring the effective utilization of the company's human resources, that is, the employees who work in the organization. And the duties of the HR manager span a number of activities: talent acquisition, that is recruitment and selection, compensation management, training and development, employee relations, building the culture of the organization, designing systems within the organization. So the HR function is a very important function. So the HR manager is a very critical person for the organization.
Wow. So when it comes to, Doc, when it comes to the HR manager, looking at the kind of work the HR manager is supposed to do, does the person really count?
Yeah, it does. It matters a lot because you don't only need to have the discipline knowledge or the science behind HR, but your personality trait is also
Well, that's not the personalities.
very important. You have to be a person of high integrity. That is number one, because you are like the moral compass in the organization. Everybody looks up to you. So your integrity is very, very, very high. You also have to have what I call business acumen, because when you are in an organization, whether we like it or not, the bottom line is about achieving the organizational objectives. So though HR, we look at it from a people point of view, but it's more of organization point of view. How do you connect the people to the organization in order for the organization to realize its objectives so that there will be employee well-being will be achieved in terms of what they want, and the organization will also perform. Because if the organization doesn't perform and achieve its objectives, then what are the employees?
Okay.
So yes, it's always human resource management, but the true sense is that It's all about organization.
Okay. So from what you're saying, if I'm getting you right, the HR is supposed to do his or her work, but is it supposed to be in favor of only of the organization or the people who are also working as well? Sort of like for the company, but what of the people within?
No, the people matters because organization cannot achieve its objectives without people. So the people side is first and foremost the very important thing, because if they don't have the right motivation, the right skills, knowledge, they can't do anything to support the organization. So first of all, you need to make sure, yes, these are the results I want to achieve, and these are the people that I need to achieve that result. So there is a match. So you have to care first and foremost about the people side as well as the organization side.
Okay.
But you can't be one-sided. You need to balance.
So you have to be in between.
Yeah, you have to balance. Balance the people side and the business side. Because if you balance only the people side and not the business side, the business will go to the south.
Wow.
But if you also don't balance the people side, then the people cannot also work towards the organization goals.
Wow.
So it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And that's what we always tell HR professionals, that you need to have that two cups, people cup and organization cup.
And it's a critical role.
It is. It is. The success of every organization revolves around the HR function. So if you go to an organization and you want to test the strengths of that organization, assess it from the HR department, not the financial department. Because eventually, who makes the money is the people.
Yeah, the people who make the money. Madam Florence, from what Doc has stated, dealing with the people, dealing with the organization, this side, welfare, counseling, guidance, does it fall under the HR?
It does. It does. Largely, a number of organizations have the welfare function being managed by the Human Resources Department. And that would include things like employee well-being, checking to ensure that both the mental and physical well-being of employees are well taken care of, and having facilities that ensure that employees' health and other issues are catered for. For example, under the welfare benefits of organizations, you would find things like medical health schemes that cater for employees' health. They organize fun games, etc., just to ensure that employees also have and participate in activities that keep them healthy and keep them balanced.
So with that, it's ideal that an employee can go to a HR and have a conversation with him or her on personal issues. Is that it?
Yes. I mean, in my experience, I've had employees coming to me to share very sensitive personal issues that impact their work. I mean, they wouldn't normally talk to you about it if it doesn't have any effect on their work, but they would come and share certain things which I would consider very personal because it impacts on their work, their performance, their attendance, etc. So yes, HR managers are also trained to be able to provide that first line of counseling. But if the situation requires a more professional approach, then of course there's a referral to a clinical psychologist or somebody who can give them professional counseling support.
Wow, it's just a critical role. But from this perspective, I want to ask Doc, is that like sort of, I know we will come on the conference, is it like a refresher course that is done for HRs? Yeah,
we do, but I think more often than not, having this opportunity, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
You see, HR people behave like the doctors. They care for patients, but some of the doctors also don't care for themselves.
Okay.
Like HR, we send people for training, but we don't train ourselves.
Yes.
So when you look at most organizations, largely, that is why one of the things, that's why I feel like CEOs, at times, certain things that we send, they don't take it seriously. Because, yes, you send people for training, but you need to train yourself as HR, because your training is even more critical than anybody as the leader of the people, of the team, you need to have what it takes to lead a team. So we must always make sure we train ourselves and also train the line managers. One of the missing pieces in the profession that we normally do, and that affects our credibility and impact in terms of in the organization context, is the fact that we don't train ourselves, we don't also train the line managers. Because, you know, every line manager is an HR manager. Because line managers manage people. So we need to even train them in HR competencies. Because every line manager is HR manager. You sit here, I know you have your various departments, you have your various heads, but they work with people. Because it's people that make the organization.
Wow. So is that a reason for this conference?
Well,
more importantly, if you
yes,
ask me.
Yes.
So share with us the details of this conference.
Okay, this conference, which is being organized under the theme Regulating Human Resources Management in Ghana, Standards, Ethics, and Sustainability, is basically, you know, providing an opportunity for us to explore the evolving role of human resources management in Ghana, particularly as it relates to regulation, ethics, and sustainability. The intention is that it will bring together practitioners, policy makers, educators to explore the evolving human resource landscape in Ghana. It will also help us to discuss the whole issue of regulation, because under the Human Resources Management Act, the act that, you know, gave effect to our institute, we are supposed to be regulating human resource practice and education in Ghana. So during this conference, we'll be discussing some strategies that can be adopted to regulate the whole practice of HR in Ghana. We'll also be discussing and exploring the talent issues in Ghana. So the conference will afford us the opportunity to actually bring together a lot of our members to also network, to get to know themselves, because if you know what happens within our HR landscape, we need a lot of networking with our colleagues.
Yeah,
you know, you need information when you're doing salary surveys. You need to have people that you can call and get basic data just at, you know, at a call. So it's important that we get our members to know themselves and to be able to build that level of trust that enable, you know, that would enable them share critical information when the need arises.
Beautiful. So, Doc, what goes into it if one wants to be part of this event, and when exactly is it happening, and the venue as well?
You know, I think it's taking place on the 18th to 19th of June at Alisa Hotel, Accra. So I think we've done a lot of publication, and those who need assistance can even reach out to us. Basically, one thing that we want every HR practitioner to know, that the essence of this conference is one, like the president said, is trying to break the HR silos that we have in this country, and also to set international tone or national tone, that the people aspect of the business or the people element in every nation is the #1 priority. And if you want to progress as an organization, if you want to progress as a country, then people issues should be important to all of us.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we know that the event is happening 18th to 19th of June 2025 at the Alisa Hotels, North Ridge, Accra. And the conference fees, like I asked you earlier, 3,200 for members in good standing, 2,000 Ghana cedis for student members, and also 4,000 Ghana cedis for non-members. Up to 10% discount for group of 5. So what, they come together?
Yeah, we're looking at it like organizations.
Okay.
If organization you have 5 or more people attending, you need to enjoy some discount.
Yes, so you give us 10%.
So we'll give you 10%.
Wow. Wow.
We will soon roll out another surprise, discount surprise.
Wow.
Which I won't talk about it here, but it's also coming. But it doesn't also mean that don't register, because the spaces are limited.
So make sure that you register immediately so that you be part of this important event as the 2025 CIHRM 2025 conference. which is happening 18th to 19th of June 2025. In studio, Florence Hatchful. Yes, the president of CIHRM.
CIHRM.
Your thing is so weak. CIHRM. Good. Is that a short word for it? How do you make? Oh, yes.
It's the short I'm giving you.
Is that short you
Yeah, but the full rendition is
okay.
the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Ghana.
Good. So CIHRM,
yeah.
that is the president for you and also the chief executive officer for that same institution. That is Dr. Francis Duku. Make sure that you are part of this all-important event.